Welcome to Fortress of Faith with Tom Wallace, calling North America to repentance and revival.
Well, welcome back once again to the Corner of Truth and Courage. You're listening to Fortress of Faith. This is Tom Wallace. Well, we are on day, 6 of Epic Fury. And there's just too many things going on over there yet that we don't really have any firm reports. And so I'm not going to spend today's broadcast on talking about that. I want to talk about today, how did we get here? How did all this unfold? I mean, we've had all this bickering going on with Iran for a long, long time. And why now? Why are we really giving it to them and really trying to take out Iran now? What led to this? Well, it's something that happened 125 weeks before. And I want you to listen carefully because I'm going to walk you through some events that have been unfolding that has brought about the current situation for Iran, which is basically their destruction. We are seeing a nation, or rather a regime, a government, being brought to its end. And they're going to fight to the death. They're not going to let go easy. They'd rather die than surrender. Okay, so this is going to be a fight to the death. It may take a while to root everything out, but trust me, it's going to happen. I mean, Iran has no friends, no allies, no one's backing them up, and it's just a matter of time. So let's go back. Let's walk back in time, and I want you to listen carefully. And by the way, if you want to re-listen to this information, we've talked a lot about this over the years, but I'm going to try to bring it all together in one show, okay? 125 weeks to the day that Epic Fury started, which was February 28th. What happened? That was October 7th, Yom Kippur. Hamas, which is a proxy army of Iran, no secrets there. They've been funded and controlled now by Iran for a while. And Iran orders them, attack, go in, take hostages. That was their main goal, take hostages. So at 6:30 a.m., a barrage of rockets started flying over into Israel. They've been doing that for a long, long time, but this was different because also they were invaded by over close to 2,000 Hamas fighters from 119 locations, bulldozers, paragliders, pickups, motorbikes, whatever. They made their way into southern Israel, attacked many of the villages back there. There was a Nova Music Festival going on. They killed over 1,200 Jews, wounded 3,400 others, and then took 251 hostages back into Gaza. Why did they do that? Why did they take them into Gaza? Well, they know, because Israel has always responded. You take a hostage, they're going to come after you. They're going to do everything. They'll lose 100 if they have to get one back. You will not take a hostage. And so they took 251 of them. Knowing Israel has to come into Gaza. And if Israel crosses that border, goes into Gaza, World War III is going to start. The Arabs will get involved in the war. That's what Iran was planning. They were banking that the Arabs will have to go to war now because Israel went into Gaza. But guess what? The Arabs stayed home. They didn't get involved. And this was their greatest fear. The Arabs have been signaling for about 3 years prior that they're about to make peace with Israel. It's not been a secret. It's been in the news. I've been listening to this for 5 years ago. MBS Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, had been talking about signing the Abraham Accords. And 2 weeks before October 7th, he gave an interview with Fox News with Bret Baird. Bret Baird flew over there. He had a 41-minute interview with him, and MBS gives an interview speaking in English. It's the first time he ever spoke in English without an interpreter. And he made clear, he said in the interview that they are getting close to a deal of signing the Abraham Accords. Now that freaked out Iran. Iran cannot let that happen. Because if Saudi Arabia signs the peace accords and makes normalization with Israel, all the other Arab nations will do so too. They're going to follow suit. It'll be a domino effect, and they can't have that occur. So they had to attack, hoping that it will trigger the Arabs to go to war with Israel. But they didn't. They stayed home, and that showed that they're serious about this peace. They really want peace. They're trying to get rid of the fundamental Islam in their countries. They've been doing this for the last 5-8 years now, since ISIS. This was a serious problem for Iran, but that triggered a series of events. So let's go through them, okay? Big miscalculation. October 7th triggered the beginning of the end for Iran. They thought it was going to punish Israel and bring about the big war, but it didn't work. That was miscalculation number one. And now they've been paying for it. And it triggered a series of defeats for Iran. The first big serious defeat was on July 31, 2024. The Hamas leader, Ismail Haniyeh, remember him? He was sleeping in a bed in Tehran, in Iran, and the IRGC safe house, and Israel, through a series of masterful spying, they had a bomb in that house, and they took him out. They killed the leader of Hamas. That was a huge embarrassment on Iran. Their security had a leak, a big leak. Then another big hit came a few months later. September 17th, Hezbollah had been starting to get more serious in the war. Now, here's the thing. What's interesting, this is a side note. I'm going to take a side note here. For many, many, many years, I've been talking about what's going on over there. And we all thought that Hamas was the B team. They were, the JV team. The real big thing was Hezbollah. Hezbollah was, they're the ones well-funded. They got better weapons. They were better training, all that stuff. They're the real threat for Israel of the two proxies, the Hezbollah and Hamas. Turned out that Hezbollah went down quick and went down fast, and Hamas has been a continued problem for Israel, bigger problem than we thought, okay? So what happened to Hezbollah? September 17th. Remember the beeper bombs? Yeah, all these bombs started, beepers started going off and killing and injuring. They injured over 2,750. These are more leaders in Hezbollah, killed 12. The next day, walkie-talkies went off, killing 20 and injuring hundreds more. Forcing them now, they can't use cell phones, they can't use beepers, they can't use walkie-talkies. So it forced the group, the head leaders, to come together. And now September 27th in Beirut, they took out all the leaders, killed 33 of the main leaders, and the main leader, Hassan Nasrallah. Huge. Just wiped out pretty much Hezbollah in just about 3 weeks. Terrible decimation of Hezbollah. So that was huge for Iran. That was a big setback. Then, June 12th, 2025, Operation Midnight Hammer. They lost their uranium enrichment sites and Fordo and all that there. Then it's triggered the 12-day war with Israel and just got hammered. They were knocked down very bad after that there with Operation Rising Lion. And so we've been seeing a continuation of a strike against them, and it was severe and terrible. Now they're in desperation. And in their desperation, they've got to put together whatever they can to create a nuclear weapon. And so they were pulling out all their resources and getting their missiles together, working hard on it. Instead of trying to look after the people, to put the people in starvation, without water, without food, without money. They don't care. They've got to finish the job to bring the end to Israel. They put all their efforts into it, and things apparently we're learning now more and more and more. It was getting serious. They were going to fire something that was going to be nuclear. And so we had to strike. We had to get Epic Fury, had to happen. And this created another huge miscalculation by Iran. Instead of just going after American targets in Arab Gulf states. They went after the Arabs themselves. Why? Well, I think there's some bitterness. Their plan didn't work. They needed the Arabs. The Arabs let them down on October 7th. And these are Sunnis, after all, and the Shias and the Sunnis have hated each other for centuries. So another huge miscalculation. Instead of creating friends and allies, they created more enemies for themselves. And so now we're seeing pretty much the death throes of Iran trying to do whatever they can to go down with a fight. And that's what they're doing. They're fighting to the death. So how's this going to turn out? Well, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but it's been an interesting thing to watch and to see. And I'm reminded again of the verse. I want to go back to where we started, Psalms 9, verse 16 and 17. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. You know what's interesting? They created these kamikaze drones, these one-way drones, and the United States took their design, tweaked it, made it better, and are sending it back at them. Isn't that interesting how the Bible puts it? The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. I mean, they have created a implementation of war that is now being used against them. The Bible also said the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget God. I think there's also a lesson for us here in America, because even though we're fighting this and we're on the winning side, America is making mistakes of forgetting God. And I fear for America, also for our, we might walk away from this becoming a bit too proud and thinking we can do anything we want because we're mighty America and there's no army on earth that could take us down. The only problem is we're letting the enemy destroy us from within, and our own sin is bringing our own destruction from within. And we've become a wicked nation too. And so there's a lesson for us here. But that's another story. But let me close by saying these final words. The liberation of Iran is going to bring about, as I've said, Reza Pahlavi, the crown prince, has promised freedom, free elections in Iran, friendship with Israel, and Christianity in the nation of Iran. And I, as the founder of Missions to Muslims, have been calling upon churches and calling upon Christians to be prepared that this door of this mission door, and it's also soon going to be opening up in Saudi Arabia. We're going to see many missionary needs and opportunities opening for us in the Middle East like we've never seen before. And I believe we're seeing Matthew chapter 24, verse 14 unfold right before our eyes. The Bible tells us that before the end, the gospel will be preached in all nations. Nations that have been closed are beginning to open. Prophecies unfolding. Well, I hope that this information is a help to you. I hope you'll keep joining us again for more, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you'll join us at the corner of truth and courage. God bless you.